Right, welcome back. So we're going to continue with our art chat. In fact, we're still shining a spotlight on the role of photography at large. Khule Mayisa is an emerging talent in the world of film and photography, known for her ability to tell stories through her lens. And recently, she made headlines for directing the film Indlu Yenkomo, which of course was penned by the talented writer Thozama Busakwe. So the film explores the complexities of modern life in South Africa. It featured at the Joburg Film Festival last month, where it garnered attentions from audiences and even critics alike. And so Khule Mayisa this morning joins us in studio to chat a little bit further. Khule, good morning. Thank you for making time. So bright and early and fresh this morning.
Hey man, had to.
Listen, congrats. I mean, the earlier chat that we had about photography and the way we need to unlearn, relearn and learn through the lens, you have a particular focus, and that's obviously the lens through which you've told your story. Tell us a little bit more about the inspiration, what inspired you, what was evoked through you in that whole creative process?
Oh my goodness. So I think when I was introduced to Thozama's writing, initially what attracted me to the story was really just this idea of a father doing all that he can to protect his daughter. So I am really just drawn to that whole experience of, making sure that I am just kind of paying homage to the role of father, the present black fathers.
Yes.
So I think that was the first and foremost thing. But the other inspiration was just a story about, merging two different worlds. I mean, we live in a country where xenophobia is so rife, right? And Afrophobia specifically.
Yes.
And I think because I'm married to an immigrant, it's really just something that's so close to home. So that's what inspired me, when bringing this or realizing this story. So
I mean, there's elements of fictional work, but there's also that documentary look and feel. And so combining all of those elements, what did it add to the experience of your final product?
Oh my gosh. So I really think that my experience starting out in the industry, I started out with experimental filmmaking, and it does have some elements of documentary. So I really do think that's what came through, and I'm glad you noticed it.
Thank you.
We really did try to give it an art house feel. We wanted to tell a story that is fantastical, but we wanted to do it really well.
Yes.
And I was so lucky, blessed really rather, to have Thozama and his theatrical background to merge and just bring another aspect of that to it.
And it also has that emotional depth, which makes the characters a lot more nuanced. And there's that hero's journey, but also the creative process of healing that needs to happen. I think that's something the audience can also resonate with. How would you have forever been changed through that process?
Oh, that's a good question. So I think I was true. Exactly. Yeah. I do have a father wound. I mean, I'm part of the statistics, the 31, well, as of last year, according to Stats SA, it was 31.7% of children that grow up, only 31%, they grow up with biological fathers. So I'm part of the 60+% that did not grow up with their biological fathers. So that is there. But I think I'm forever changed. I think I really healed through making this film. Just seeing the character channeled through Chamai, but I was really drawn to the main character, or Nameless, and seeing how, despite the hardships that she faces, she unearths the power that is within her, and she channels that so that she can ultimately try and fulfill her destiny.
It's the classic story of the hero's journey also coming to the fore, but there's the dark night of the soul. So there is the challenges that come. 100%. Talk to us about that, how it's played out in the film, but perhaps also in the challenges in putting everything together. So along the value chain, what were some of those experiences you would have had to undergo?
You mean on set as well?
On set, logistically, timing, resources, name it.
So to answer the first part of the question with regards to the character and the challenges she has to overcome, initially the protagonist was the father, Chamai, but I mean, as the story unfolded and the more we got onto set, and we realized that this character, this is all playing out through Ongenagama's perspective, and the challenges that she has to undergo, the sacrifices that have to be made by her and even her parents, to ensure her safety. So she I don't want to give too many spoilers.
You're teasing us there, exactly, that's all.
But she has to really, really go through some difficult challenges because obviously the power that she has poses a threat to the king of the land. And she's hiding in the heart of the whole nation, even though there is a prophecy, a really powerful prophecy attached to her. But she can't unearth that power. But the beauty in that is just seeing how the father helps her to realize it. But yeah, bringing that out on set, goodness me, I think the biggest challenge we had, and the one thing we just couldn't compromise on was location. We just had to make sure we found the right location. And my co-director and I, Thozama and I, went to Egudeni Film Lodge, which is right next to Cradle Moon, just on our own, just to kind of get the experience of what it's like to location scout together and kind of immerse ourselves in the world. So I felt like at the time it maybe didn't feel right, but when we visited it again with our crew, it was just, it stood out, especially because the manager just assured us that, you know, she would be able to bring our vision to life. So we had an incredible team.
With the evolution of storytelling and us as humans, obviously we change, there's different contexts and places and spaces that we find ourselves in. So you've conquered this aspect, this domain. What are some of those other stories that you think need to be reflected to add to our agency, where, you know, there are intentions to divide and conquer, but perhaps to unite us and make us stronger together?
Oh gosh. So I'm really passionate about stories about Black women. That's an experience that I know and understand. But I also want to be able to tell those stories not in a way that I am, you know, sort of communicating this idea of misandry or anything. I want to be able to tell a story that allows them to see us as humans. So any story that allows them to really put a lens on our experiences, and really just understand the real challenges that we face.
Representation and inclusion, that's what matters, 100%. Especially when you're mitigating against inequalities and inequities. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for your offering as well. We're looking forward to plenty more action from you, but this morning we'll leave the conversation there. Khule Mayisa talking to us about her journey in the film industry, a recent work of course, and perhaps what the future also looks like for her.